Hey, what's up guys, Arizu here. Today I bring you my thought process behind the mechanics Diamond Dust and Light Rampant. Again, as a disclaimer, this is using quick win strats, so it may be different to what you're used to. And this is not a complete guide, but more so things that I look out for the mechanic. Hopefully it can be of some help. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video, dislike it, let's not waste time, and vamonos. For Diamond Dust, we're gonna be using the Echo Strat, also called Partner Swap. Right before the mechanic happens, I'm gonna be pre-positioned on this little spot so I know how far out I can be whenever I'm spread and in with side kick. And also I'm looking at 4 markers. 2 of them are the ones that I'm going to because I'm southeast, I'm melee 2, this is blue for me, and the other blue, which is south for me. The other 2, 4 and D, will help me identify where the first big eyes is. Now, one of the reasons why I like this strat is because everything gets resolved on these 2 markers. And if we want to spread out how many possible spots, we have 8. These are the 8 possible spots that I can have. And you may be thinking, Strummer, those are way too many. Yes, but at the same time, no. Here's why. Once you know it's in or out, half of these disappear. So let's say it's in. You ignore the ones that are out, of course. So now you're already in. You have 4 possible spots. Are you spread or are you baiting the cleave? Okay, let's say I'm spread. Okay, you ignore these 2. Now you only have to find where to place said spread, which is right next to the big eyes, right? If you were baiting the cleave, you ignore these 2 and you just put it directly towards the eyes or perpendicular to it. Like, this mechanic gets solved so quickly. It needs reps, of course, but it's so simplified and efficient that it's really simple. So once it clicks, it makes it so simple to actually do it. So let's continue with the example. We're gonna have Diamond Dust cast bar. We're gonna see that everything gets shown right now. We know the 3 things that we need. The first ice, if I'm spread or not, and shadow bubble. Instead of shadow bubble, of course, the voice line. So from here, it's reap, it's in. Out of the 8 possibilities, we already have 4. And in this split second, I already know I'm spread. So that already eliminates that I need to go super far in. So I just need to adjust accordingly on one of the 2 spots. Since I don't want to be on top of this ice, I want to be right next to it, I just move a little. With this pre-position, I already know that I can solve the mechanic. From here is just waiting for the cast bar to be done and then move out and place it on the next circle right here. You can see where this line and your own line meets. So we keep going a little bit. Cast bar is done, you can move out. Once the cast bar is done, the snapshot is super quick, so you can move out freely without getting move out or move in when it's axe kick too. So you can move out freely without fearing that you're gonna get clipped. You just stand there, watch it disappear, then move in, get the knockback. And that's pretty much the first half. You're basically right there and then. So I want to show you guys an example with the out with the axe kick. For this example, we're gonna have the out pattern, and right about now, we're gonna see that the big eyes is on another position, which is at cleave, and I at least have the same spread pattern. And as I mentioned before, we're gonna put the circle right next to a circle. So that's what we're gonna do. She's at cleave, we're going out. I'm going straight to the wall. Basically staying here until it resolves. Everyone's that's baiting, they're gonna be standing closer to this line right here. As they're closer towards the boss, the cleave will go automatically. The only thing that they need to be worried about is going back inside the arena. In this case, my support needs to go in as soon as the cast bar is done. You can pop your sprint if you want to play super safe, which is what I recommend. Pop your sprint and just use it. The same thing for the outer spreads. They can just pop their sprint and go back in. In my case, I just dash, but you can just run. And after that, you're pretty much done. Identifying where you need to go is the hard part, but the second half of this first half is rather quite easy. It gets auto-resolved. You just let the knockback happens, and then of course you solve this thing. Of course you never want to go towards her, so we're going away from her. We're going counterclockwise. The other group is going clockwise, and you solve the mechanic. If it's stillness, you go behind her. If it's silence, you go in front of her. In this case, we're just gonna move towards her and then back. And that's basically Diamond Dust. Diamond Dust, it's a really quick mechanic. It's really fast. and repetitions is what is going to get you past it. But also understanding and making sure how you can identify where you need to go in that split second. So let's continue on to Light Rampant. For Light Rampant, we're using a strat that is called 4-4, but we're using north-south for baits. As a small note, people in PF are using east-west for baits. In my opinion, north-south is superior, but hey, it is what it is. This strat in its most simple form, you're gonna see it this way. You're gonna see 4 players getting lined up. With this, you're already halfway through. Because what you want to do is make sure 6 players are going to get tethered, right? But you want 3 players to get tethered on each side. So basically you want, like, I don't know, this 3 people getting the tether and these 3 people getting the tether. Right there, the mechanic is basically solved, and you only need to do the foldings accordingly. North and south exchange, northwest with northeast. And southwest and southeast, they don't move. They just basically go back to the towers, and the mechanic is basically done. Now, the only thing that you need to do is be careful that for this preposition, for example, if I'm all the way to the right, I don't want to be standing like above or to the left, because the line can get tangled, and you don't want that to happen. So for now, let's see what happens in this footage. So we're gonna have a 3-3. Basically, 3 people get tethered right here, and on the other side we have 2 people with the spreads, with the baits, right? In this case, we put placing them north-south. As you saw, it's a really quick movement, because once you get used to it, like, the mechanic solves itself with this double conga line. You're gonna see that Diva is north, and they're gonna go south with Iris, and Dia being northwest and Lizzie being east are gonna swap each other's split. They do the fold real quick. That the fold already happened, and you're already solving the tether. It's a simple mechanic. What's more important is the preposition, making sure the line can be seen as like almost a circle, hexagon, whatever. You just place the thing and you make sure to bait. Now the thing that I do, because I am playing Viper, I have a gap closer to like party members too. So I basically place my puddles wherever I want, and then I just gap closer, right? But if you want to do it right, you know, you actually make a trail going towards this specific spot. Do not try to copy it blindly. Now, I want to go back a little bit. What happens if we have 4 people on this side that get tethered? You may be thinking, Berna, like, that means on the other side there's only like 2 people. You solve it simply by going clockwise. The person most clockwise of the line, or more to the left you're looking in, they're just going up or down. And once you do that, it's no longer 4 and 2. It would be now 3, 3, 3. And with that small adjustment, because like if you see it's 4 and 2, you basically stand on your spot a little bit more time, instead of like going immediately as we just saw. You want to make sure that you actually know that, okay, let's say I was northwest, but because someone else is coming up, I am now in this position in the middle. I'm now north. I now must do the according fold, and that's about it. Like Light Rampant, what makes it hard, I like knowing the timing of everything. But once that happens, the mechanic is done. Like after this and the puddle baits, you basically want to stand with the party, solve the light party stack, evade the puddle if you need to, you wait, then you go back. And if you have two, kind of like me, myself, Mist, Ia, and Alara, we all go towards the middle. Light Rampant is done. You only have to wait for if it's going to be stack or spread. You see it on top of her head. You know, if it's multiple balls, multiple orbs, it's going to be spread. If it's a single one, it's a party stack. The DPS basically go to their spots on the inner cardinals, and supports will adjust. And after that, Light Rampant is done. Like for this example, we're gonna have the 4-2 lineup. You can also see it by having 2 people with the baits on the same line. This line here. So basically, what we just said, you want to make that 4 line you know, do clockwise, and the other supports or DPS need to move clockwise accordingly. So in this case, let's just like Lisi was about to be like, say, north right here. So they only need to move to next one. They're now going to become northeast. Same case for Dia. We're here, they were northwest-ish, so they need to move clockwise and become north. Alara in this case is going to go from southwest up and become northwest. They do their folds accordingly, and that's basically the mechanic. The folding happens. Alara was northwest, folds towards northeast. Dia from north goes and folds to south, and Lisi from northeast goes to west. And you basically solve it just the same. Once the fold happens, everything's done. Back up and do the mechanic. GG. If you manage to get past this, you're basically just waiting for, you know, the tower in the middle and solving the banish. Once that is done, you go to your clock spots, House of Light happens, and basically don't move from this. I've seen a friend wipe to this because they went for positionals. It's not worth it. If you don't have the damage by now, you probably didn't have it before. So be careful, play safe, because like once you get here, like you're done. I hope this was useful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next time.